A very warm welcome to everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So as we all know that the CAT percentiles are already out. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students for scoring so well, and for all those students who are waiting that what should we do for the GD round, I am here to help you guys out. So let's just dig into the video. Now, the question here is how to ace GD. Now, what is GD? GD is the group discussion round, right? So, it is basically like a round wherein 3 to 4 people or more than that can be there and will be asked to discuss a topic on, right? So, let's just see what all is there in GD. Now, complete guidance of all CAT and non-CAT colleges. Now, one thing that you need to understand here is that GD can be conducted for a CAT college also and a non-CAT college also, right? So, that is why we've included it here. So, now, how communication occurs? The biggest question for everyone. Now, most of the students will say, speaking is what communication is all about. But, do you think that speaking is enough to communicate whatsoever you feel or whatsoever your ideas are? No, they're not. See, words, voice, body language, facial expressions, gestures and attitude are main components of communication, and words just comprise of the 7% of your entire communication, and this is something that you guys need to understand, right? Now, once you've already known that these are the important components, now you know what you need to work on. Let's just see. Here, group discussion. What is a group discussion? As I've already told you guys that it usually comprises of 7 to 12 participants. There can be more or less, right? Next, topic or a case is given to you guys, right? And you have to speak on that topic or you have to discuss that topic. Discussion is the right word here, right? Now, normally 2 minutes to think and 15 to 20 minutes to discuss the topic. Just 2 minutes to think. This is something that you guys really need to understand, that you will be given just 2 to 3 minutes to think and not more than that, right? No set rules, evaluation, simply observe, may intervene. Now, you need to understand here that there are no strict rules to conduct a GD. Now, the evaluator can intervene or may not intervene, right? So, here you need to understand that it is in the hands of the evaluator whether to intervene or not, right? If he feels that the GD is going fine, he won't. Now, what kind of topics can you get for the GD round? The first one being generic topics. Second, specific topics. Third, case-based. Fourth, abstract topics. Now, I'll give you examples of all these kind of topics, right? So, generic topics can be, let's say, a generic topic is all that glitters is not gold. Or it can be, let's say, COVID, right? Or it can be something related to politics. Specific topic can be impacts of COVID in India. Or let's just make it more specific, COVID on economy of India. Now, let's just talk about a case-based, because most of the students do find it difficult to discuss a case, right? Let's say the case is the Bhopal gas tragedy. This is just an example. These are all examples that I'm giving you guys, right? Now, next type of topics that you can get are abstract topics. Now, these are the topics that most of the students find difficult to speak on, right? And you guys really need to understand that if you don't know how to speak on these topics, then there are techniques that can help you out and that I will be discussing in the video, right? So now, first is conceptual, right? This kind of topics like all that glitters is not gold. This is just a topic that can come when it comes to abstract type of topics which are conceptual in nature. Why are they conceptual in nature? Because though being abstract in nature, we don't know what is gold here, right? And we don't know what glittery is here, right? So these are abstract, but it can be related to various things, right? So these topics are abstract, conceptual, and we just need to understand the meaning of whatsoever is said and whatsoever the topic says, right? Now, let's just talk about random topics. Now, random topics can be why black and not blue. So, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? What is black? What is blue? We have no idea about it, right? So, these topics can pose a challenge to you guys, and these topics are really difficult when it comes to writing or generating content on, right? So, this is the major challenge that most of the students do face. Now, let's just see the evaluation parameters, right? So, the first parameter would be the strength of point, right? So, the strength of point would mean that how good, how innovative, how strong your point is, right? So new point, building on a point, initiative and rationale behind a point is what you need to understand are the basic pillars of this particular parameter. Now, body language, sitting style, eye contact, listening style and gestures. These all are pillars of this particular parameter. Now, assertiveness, how confident you are and how articulately or how correctly do you present your ideas is what comes under assertiveness. Communication skills. Now, what kind of communication skills are required and what does comprise of communication skill is command over language, number 1, and number 2, clarity of voice, number 3, voice modulation, right? Now, one thing that we need to understand here is if you don't have a very good command over the language, that can be concealed by having a strong point or by the assertiveness with which you present your point or the knowledge with which you present your point and the examples you give for your point or in support of your point, right? This is how you can actually conceal the command over the language, right? However, it cannot be given away as such, but it can be concealed to a certain extent, because most of the students do come to me and ask me that, ma'am, we are not really good with speaking in English, right? So that is what I tell them, that this can be compromised or can be concealed somewhere or the other. So these are the pointers that can actually help you to see which point are you good in and which point really needs to work on or which can be concealed, right? So I hope it is clear. So now I'll be talking about the content generation tips, right? Now it becomes very difficult to generate content on the spot. Why? Because it needs mental alertness and also some subject knowledge, right? And this content generation becomes an even better problem for us whenever we are given an abstract topic to speak on impromptu, right? So let's just see that which all techniques can help us whenever we need to deal with the abstract kind of topics. So the very first thing is just an example. Let's say the topic is grey. Now what all can be grey? How to speak about such a topic? Let's just see. So factual and social topics here. Firstly, I'll be talking about factual and social topics, right? Let's say I'll give you an example of Green Revolution, right? So Green Revolution is your topic. So first technique would be 5W and H technique, right? So how do we generate content on such kind of topics? Who, when, what, why and where, right? And H would be how. How, who, when, what, why and where are the aspects to which you can relate this topic, that is Green Revolution, right? Clear? Now next, Sphiltry. Now what is Sphiltry? Let me just tell you. So you can relate Green Revolution to many aspects of life, right? Many aspects of life. So let's just see what all aspects can you relate Green Revolution to. Social, political, historical, economic, legal, technical, religion and international, right? So for example, if somebody in your group is talking about only the international aspect of the Green Revolution, what you can do is you can come up with something that relates to religion or that relates to something that has something to do with history, right? So these are the points which can show how innovative you are and how mentally alert are you about the generation of topics, right? Let's just see. Now, talking about the abstract topic and one of the biggest problem that most of the students do face. So here is a technique, that is the pop beans technique. So pop beans means how can you relate a particular topic to. So here abstract topic again, grey is your abstract topic, right? Grey is your abstract topic. So what all can be grey? It can relate to some people, it can relate to objects, it can relate to places, it can relate to behavior, it can relate to beliefs, events, actions, nature and science. Now, it is on you how you want to relate the topic to all these things. You can relate it to one, right? You can relate it to two or more, right? But just see, you have some innovative aspects of the entire topic, right, which you are dealing with. Now, moving ahead. So these were the content generation tips. I hope the generation tips are clear to you. Now, I'll talk about how to structure the ideas that you've generated out of the tricks that we've used, right? So how you need to structure the entire idea. So first thing would be a point, right? You need to think of a point that you will be speaking about, right? Let's say if the topic was green revolution and you have thought that you will be talking only about the economic aspect of it. So now you have to narrow down your thought and you have to think that what in economy will you speak about? Will you be speaking about how good it was for the economy, how bad it was for the economy, or how it led to a boost in the economy, right? So this is the narrowing down of point, and that is what your point will all be about, right? Now, the rationale behind the point. You can also explain that why are you stating this point here? Also, why are you stating this point here will help the people out there know that what do you really want to discuss in the GD. So now, give examples to support your point, right? To support. And last but not the least, you should conclude your point so that it becomes clear that you have a clear understanding of whatsoever you are saying and whatsoever examples are you quoting right now, right? So, point, rationale, example and conclusion make the PREC approach. So let's just see, move ahead. Here, conduct in a GD. So how do we really need to conduct a GD, or how do we really need to enter, exit or even sustain in a GD becomes a very big question for all of us, because GD is something that we have not done in the past, or we might have done in 1 or 2 activities, but we really don't have an experience of, right? So let's see. How to enter a GD. Now, entering a GD is a very big deal, right? Because there are many people who are knowledgeable, who have knowledge about the topics, who are very good speakers, may or may not be good speakers, and who want to showcase whatsoever they have, right? So here, you need to understand that entry in a GD is a very big deal. So here, enter in the lows. Whenever somebody has stopped or whenever somebody is not getting a point to speak on, keep your major points for that point, right? And speak the point whenever everybody is quiet, right? Second thing, interjecting in a discussion with a question. This will help you to pause the other people and also to keep your point. Next, enter after a person has made his point. So whenever a person has completed speaking about whatsoever he wanted to speak on, right, that is the time for you to enter. Because if you intervene in between, it doesn't look nice. Secondly, it doesn't give a good impression of you, and you won't be quoted as a good listener. Hence, if you want to be quoted as a good listener, let the others complete their point. Next, enter with a supportive statement. Now, this is another very good approach that can help you guys out. Why? Because supporting a statement can actually help you speak, and also to show that how innovatively can you think about the same point that other is thinking about, or what all can you add into the discussion. Now, enter by increasing volume. See, this point is something that has to be done only as a last resort. When nobody is letting you enter, when you're not able to enter, when you are not able to speak, that is the time you should, increase your volume and then speak. Otherwise, there is no need to increase your volume. A GD can be conducted in a very subtle manner as well, right? So this is what you need to understand, that you have to stay calm, subtle, composed, right? So this is the last resort for you guys. Let's just talk about how to sustain a GD. So now, sustaining a GD is another big deal. So, eye contact and gesture. See, you have to address each and everyone in the panel who's sitting and listening to your GD. So, try to make eye contact with each and every person. You shouldn't just make eye contact with one person and just ignore the other people, right? Second thing, power of content. See, content is something that you really need to work on. So, keep on reading something or the other, so that you at least have an idea of the kind of topics are presented to you before in the GD, right? And also so that you're able to generate some quality content while speaking in the GD. Next, diplomatic argumentation and counter argumentation. Please do it only if you have knowledge about the topic. If you don't have knowledge about the topic, please don't fall into any sort of argument or any sort of counter arguments, right? If you have knowledge, please do argue, but if you don't have knowledge about the topic, please just leave it. Voice modulation. See, if you are affirmative about something, if you have knowledge about that particular topic, please keep your confidence high and please do speak it articulately, right? Because that is what will actually count. This will show your confidence and also your grasp over the topic, right? So next, structure your thoughts, that is follow the PREC approach that I have already told you guys. You need to follow the PREC approach here. Let's just move ahead. Now, some don'ts that you really need to work on in a GD, right? Please do focus on these don'ts, right? First thing is that you need not speak for long, right? Please don't be verbose. Be articulate, right? Speak less, but to the point. That is it. That is it all. This is all that these guys want, right? So one thing that you need to understand here is that your speech should always be clear, concise, and correct. This is what you need to understand while participating in a GD. Next thing, use too many examples to support your views, right? See, you need not just put in a lot of examples to support your point. Just one or two good examples will do, right? Next, bluff statistics or wrong facts. Please don't do this, because apparently the panel will be of such educated people that you will get caught, right? And it won't sound good at all. Next, take a direct stand in favor or against at the beginning. See, what is the rationale behind a group discussion? It is to see how well can you think of an issue, or how well can you discuss a topic, right? So discussion is the entire rationale behind a GD, right? So you cannot just defy the rationale and come to a conclusion by taking stand over a particular topic. You cannot just go in favor of or go against the topic in the beginning only, right? So this is what you need to understand. Second thing is forcefully reach a conclusion. You cannot forcefully reach a conclusion. You have to talk to the other people also in the group and then reach to a conclusion, right? Next, force your ideas and points on others. Please don't do it. Others are also there to participate. They have their own views. They have their own ideas, and also it doesn't give a good look at you, right? Because you need to understand that you are a participant there and you have to think logically. Only if you are willing to accept somebody's point, accept it, but please don't force the others to accept yours as well. Next, be too aggressive. Don't be aggressive. Be calm, be composed. That is what will help you out. Now, let's just talk about certain do's that will help you just spark your GD and help you get some good scores. So here, clear and concise. As I've already told you about the 3 C's. Clear, concise, and correct. This is what your speech should be. This is what your part in the GD should be. Next, rotate your eyes. Make eye contact. This is what I mean to say here, right? Provoke others to contribute. See, you should, provocation is something else, but here you need to remember that you need to support the others in your group, right? And this will show that you are a good team leader. This will show that how able are you to understand the others, and this will show how supportive you are to others, right? So this is what you need to understand, that you need to support all the group members to speak something or the other. Next, identify the core of the issue. So here you need to identify the core of the issue. How deep the problem is. Just discuss it so well that there are no other loopholes left, right? Just discuss it so well, come up with good conclusions. Next, quote statistics. If you have idea of the statistics, please do quote them. If you have no idea, please don't quote them, right? Because in the previous slide, I've already told you that bluffing the statistics would be a suicidal deal, right? Don't do that. Next, read editorials of leading newspapers and magazines. This is just to help you out to prepare for certain topics which can be asked in the GD round, right? So that you don't have to think much of in the real GD, right? And you already have content in hand. This is what will help you guys. That was all about the GD round, right? So I hope that it is clear to everyone. If you have any other problems, if you have any other questions or queries, you can write in the chat box below. Also, if you like the video, please do hit the like button. Do share amongst your friends and make the best out of this video. And please do subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more such content. Till then, thank you.